Hello, social media world. I have a jewel for today, and it's going to be a little bit lighter than the last one I did. Um, so I often get a lot of calls and messages from people, saying, asking me, is there a way that I can see if somebody has put a curse on me or hex, or if somebody is working some type of dark magic towards me? So when I get asked this question, I allow the conversation to happen to see where it is coming from. So, and sometimes it ends up being that person. So let me say this. Hexes and curses do not always start with hexagrams, candles, incense, and these elaborate rituals. Thoughts are measurable. Thoughts and energy are measurable. I'm a little bit of a nerd. And I remember I was probably like 7 or 8 when I bought this book at a book fair at school, and it was a book about different spirits and entities. And I got to the section on poltergeists, and parapsychologists had ended up finding that poltergeists were actually, not always, but poltergeists can be caused by living people. The reason for this is your thoughts are powerful. The energy you put towards your thoughts are powerful. If I'm nothing else, baby, I am a nerd. And, these things have been studied. They have hooked Reiki masters, monks, psychics up to, these scientific instruments. And they have been able to measure, gauge, and chart this energy that these people are channeling in these moments. They have even gone to sites of mass prayer and gauged the ambient energy. So when I tell you that you're powerful, please understand, because I don't say these things to hear myself speak. I know the things that I'm talking about. My goal is to help you to free your mind and heal your mind. But understand that thoughts create measurable energy. So there is a form of magic called high magic. This type of magic is literally just manipulating the ether using no tools other than the divine source energy that flows all around you and within you. And it talks about creating a thought form. It has you visualize this orb in between your hands, feel the energy and things like that. And as you put your intent, you see the ball growing and growing and growing. And you put this out into the universe. It does not take all of that to create a thought form. True enough, if you are an alchemist like myself, you do it deliberately, but we do this every single day. The things that you pay attention to and focus your attention on. Listen, there's a reason it's called paying attention. When you pay attention to something, you are lending your energy, your bit of divinity to a thing. Good or bad. I need you to understand this. So just like I've said before, how you can manifest this wonderful life and all of this and all of that, you can manifest some BS as well, focusing on the wrong thing. So, I have people, again, ask me, has somebody worked some black magic? And I sometimes determine, and when I say this, I don't mean it in an offensive way, but sometimes you are the negative energy that you think is invading your space, your life, your situation, or whatever. Your negative thoughts towards this situation. If you hate your job and all you can think about is, I hate my job, I hate my job, I hate my job, I hate my... Every time you say that, think that, feel that, you are feeding this I hate my job thought form. Once it's out there, it's out floating in the ether, and it's growing every single time you say you hate your job, and it's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, you are the manifester of the misery at your job that's causing you to hate your job. Same thing if you have negative thoughts about your relationship. You're growing and growing and growing this thought form. Now, you know, think about how those things make you feel when you dread having to go to work the next day. The weekend is over and you're dreading Monday morning coming. You know, you're feeding that, and you are creating this thought form. So curses, like I said, they don't always involve hexagrams and candles and this whole elaborate ritual. It could really just be somebody that you have pissed off or done something to that they did not like, and their disdain for you, their dislike for you, they're constantly feeding this thought form. So it, you know, everybody that doesn't like you, they're not necessarily witches out here cursing you. It's just that their energy towards you, their negative energy towards you, is constantly being fed and fueled by their negative thoughts of you. You could be feeding this negative thought. So there's this movie that I used to watch. It's a movie from the 80s. It's called The Entity. It's scary as hell, and it is based on a true story. You know, this woman was plagued by this entity for all of this time, and she ended up calling these parapsychologists in. They recreated her bedroom and they trapped it, and this thing was huge. It literally took up her whole the whole stage that they had set. It was massive. You know, that energy was being fed by either herself, her fear of something, or by somebody else. So understand that thoughts are powerful. And I know the things that I said in my last video, you know, there are things that are coming down the pipeline. I'm trying to let you know these things for multiple reasons, because things can change, you know, but you have to watch what you feed your energy to, you know, whether it's something on a massive scale or something just personal to yourself. What you are thinking about, you are feeding that thing. So you have to check yourself, you know, because the law of attraction works both ways. My birthday is a week from today. I sit back and I reflect a lot. I'm like, you know, good, bad, or ugly, there is nothing in my life that I have focused my intention and my attention to that has not happened. So, you know, you have to be mindful of your mind and your thoughts and your energy and your words, because whether you know it or not, you are creating a thought form going out into the ether. Now, also, when you create this thought form in your space or whatever, these little thought forms become beacons for lower vibrational energy, for any type of entity. So negative thought forms, they become beacons for demons, low vibrational energy. Like, it opens the door. You know, you have this negative thought form and a negative entity is going to shoot its shot. And you've opened the door for it. So like when you change your mind and you start thinking positivity, abundance, healing, this and that, eventually your energy is going to align with that. And so you will end up attracting other entities, higher vibrational entities, to this beacon that you have put out, and they are going to create these good things over here. So you have to clear your minds, you know, mental clarity, even your space, like excessive clutter in the home. You know, Easterners believe in feng shui. How you have things in your home depicts how the energy is going to move through your home, or what type of energy is going to move through your home. So like things like excess clutter, the house being regularly dirty, this attracts these kinds of entities. Same thing with your thoughts. Your thoughts is your subconscious home, and you have to keep it clear. Am I saying engage in toxic positivity? Absolutely not, because that is a thing where you just have the rose-colored glasses on, so much so to where you can't even see the bad thing. It's a difference between toxic positivity and it's called compassionate detachment, right? So one thing you can do is learn compassionate detachment. And this is a big thing to do with the things that you consume, the things around you. Like, so when I go to visit my family in North Carolina, there's one TV in the house. Well, there's multiple TVs, but there's a TV that stays on the news all day long. And my grandmother is a little bit hard of hearing, so it's loud. You know, the things that you consume is not limited to the things that you eat and drink. It's what you watch, it's what you read, it's the conversations that you engage in with friends and family. It's, you know, and I'm not saying don't feel for these people, but there's a thing called compassionate detachment. For example, you know, let's say that I have a friend that is in a situation that I can't really help. I can't do anything about. And most people know that when they call me, I'm the solve your problem friend. You know, am I going to feel sorry that my friend is going through this? Like, let's say somebody passes away, right? Like when my father passed away, you know, I would vent to my friends, but to put the shoe on the other foot, you know, wow, my friend just lost somebody in their family. This is terrible. I'm going to be a listening ear and be this shoulder for my friend to cry on, but I cannot take this energy into myself. I'm showing you compassion. I am empathizing with you, and I'm doing my best to doing what I can to take your pain away, because you know, there's literally nothing that you can do about that situation. You can't bring a person back to life. However, I understand that I have to let this person go through this process and be there for them, but I cannot take this on. So with the news, things that happen in the news, and sometimes with my friends, sometimes it's mistaken for me being cold. It's not that at all. I'm a very empathetic person. I do it for a living. However, I have to have an etheric boundary. Wow, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Is there anything that I can do to help? You know, you need a couple of dollars. Do you need me to go bust somebody in the mouth or whatever? Because I am on the path to enlightenment, but that path did start on the south side of Chicago. So like, you need a couple of coins, or do we need to go nuck and buck? How does Tierra make this better for you? You know, and if it's something that is beyond my control that I can't do, you know, like I said, I will continue to be there for my friend, but I cannot take this on. So oftentimes it is mistaken for me being cold. It is not being cold. It is compassionate detachment. I understand that you're going through this. I feel that you are going through this, and I am going to do the best that I can to help you through this, but I am not going to take on this. You know, because you can mess around and create a thought form and it's not even your thing. Empathic people a lot of times suffer from having all of these jumbled emotions because you're becoming an emotional sponge. So when you're trying to work on your own personal things and manifest this or manifest that or clear this, you can't manifest these things because your energy is all over the place because you've become an emotional sponge. So, be very, very careful of the things that you pay your attention to and give energy to, because whatever you give your energy to, you give life to it. You're creating an etheric signal, an etheric beacon for more of that thing, whatever it is. If it's bullshit or if it's wonderful stuff, you're creating that every time you have a thought. Like I said, I'm not saying put on the rose-colored glasses and act like things are not happening around you. But with the earlier example, if you hate your job, you know what? I got a job to hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fortunate enough. Try to find a way to put a positive spin on this. It's one thing I love about my daughter. She helps me so much because she can literally see the good and the best, she can see the best thing in the worst thing. Like, I remember when all of this started, she's like, Mommy, is everybody gonna die? And I'm like, no, it's not gonna come to that. She was like, but even if it did happen, we could be like the last man on earth and go live in one of those big houses, and then we could eat anything without having to worry about food pooches. Like, my child literally put a positive spin on an apocalypse. So now she's really not even the good thing that she thought of completely overrode and negated the bad thing that prompted her to come up with the good thing. So you see how that works. If you have this and then you feed more to it than this, because she put a lot of thought and effort into the positive in the scenario of 7.5 billion people on the earth being, wiped out by something. So is that terrible? Yes. But she put more thought into this and it negated this. So if you have a negative situation and you have a million reasons to feel a type of way about something in a negative light, find that one thought, the one good thing, and then expand on that. So we're going to shrink this thought form and grow this one, the positive one. So, like I said, you are powerful. You are powerful. You have that divine energy within you. This is, whether you know it or not, but this is how you bring good things into your life or bad things into your life. So you're powerful. Understand that power. Once you do the best you can until you know better. And then once you know better, do better. Like I said, I'm trying to help free and heal your mind, to let go of these fears and all of these negative things, because they can be overridden by something positive. And you'll begin to, see the things around you change. Instead of, I hate my job, find a good thing. You know what? My coworkers, I absolutely love my coworkers. And this paycheck at the end of the 2 weeks, it ain't so bad itself. Focus on that. Focus on that. So that's my jewel for today. Your thoughts. You're creating thought forms, whether you are consciously doing it or not. So make sure that you take account of the negative mental clutter and make sure it's not you that is the bad energy. that you're worried about. And like I said, when I say that, don't take offense to it, because if you call me asking me, did somebody do some black magic on you, the first place I'm going to send you is back to yourself. What are your thoughts? What, like I said, I'm going to let the conversation happen, and I can figure out if it's you that created this thought form that's wreaking hell and havoc and misery in your life. It's okay. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you, hey, let's think about this. Mental alchemy, spiritual alchemy. You're manipulating the ether at all times, whether you realize it or not. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. That you're made up of all of those things. You're made up of all of those elements. Earth, air, fire, water, ether, spirit. So, how are you going to use it? How are you going to use it? How are you going to alchemize it? That's up to you. So, that is my jewel for today. I love you all. Be good to yourself. Be good to everybody else. Check yourself before you wreck yourself or accidentally wreck somebody else. If you have some negative thoughts towards somebody, like I said, you can accidentally curse somebody. Blessings and curses all start in the same place right here. Intent. That's the secret to any magic. Whether you know you're doing it or not, it's intent. They all come from right here. So be mindful of those things always. Like I said, if you feel a negative way about somebody, if you can talk to them, put your big girl and boy drawers on and hash it out, that's fine. If not, think about it like this. If this is a person you can't talk to, this is a person that's renting space in your head for free, and you're worried about somebody that's not worried about you and paying you 2 cents of attention while you're focused on these things. It's all right. We all have those moments, but check it. I'm telling you all the time, I will have you believing you can do anything you want because you can, but I'm gonna check that BS first, and I'm gonna send you back to yourself. You have to get sent back to yourself to reflect on all of these things, only to end the journey back at yourself, but a different you. So that is what I have for today. I love you guys. Be good, be kind, have a marvelous Monday, have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you the next time I have a jewel for you.